Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Angel from Simply Angel Tia. In this video I'm gonna be working on this granny stitch sweater with you, and as you can see here, this is gonna be the end results. These are the colors that I chose for mine. You can choose to do them in any colors of your choice. I'm going to talk about all the materials that I use, including what this yarn is that I'm using here. But in terms of color particularly, you can obviously choose the colors that are of your preference. You could even do the whole thing in one solid color if you want. But for the sake of this particular tutorial, we're going to be working using these colors here. And if you're following along, you're going to follow it using your own colors, okay? So yeah, so this is what we're going to be working on. Let's go ahead and grab our materials and get started. Okay my lovelies, so before we continue, I'm going to show you the materials that I'm using for this project. And as you can see, these are the three yarns that I'm using. These two are from the same company. It's called Azurite. It's 100% acrylic. It's 50 grams or 140 meters for this. Its recommended hook size is 3.5 to 4 millimeter crochet hook. And this cream color here is referred to by numbers, which is 3057. Okay, this is the exact same yarn here, except the color is 31882. I don't know what this color is called. It's almost like brownish. This one here I have is a different company. This is from Hobby. We Heart yarn. It's a classic acrylic yarn, and it's 50 grams for this, or 150 meters, or 164 yards. Okay, so this is a different one that I'm using. This is the same thing. They don't go by color name, they go by color number, and this is color number 4. And recommended hook size for this is 4 to 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, or US 6 to 7. Okay, so these are the three. I choose to use this different yarn with this one because they are literally almost exactly the same. Like, look at this. They're all lightweight number 3. They just look really similar. Beside it's a different company that makes one. Okay, so these are the yarns that we're using today. Crochet hook size, I'm using 5 millimeter crochet hook, or H8 US. It's just something that I prefer to do, is use a little bit larger for this particular type of work. I have my scissors here to cut my strands. I have some stitch markers. I have a darning needle, and I have a scissors. I have a tape measure. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, my lovelies, so I'm going to start the sweater with this color. So it's the lightest of the three. So as you can see, I have this. So I'm going to be using this color here. Okay, so let me just bring it in. So I'm going to be using this color here, and then do a couple of rows of this, do a couple of rows of this, and then do a couple of rows of this, and then repeat in that order. So this is how it's pretty much going to be organized. Okay, so this is why I started with this color here as opposed to any color. You can obviously use it any order that you want of your colors. You can use different colors. You can use one color if you want. Okay, but we're gonna start by doing a magic circle. So this is how I do my magic circle. Then I'm gonna do a chain of 2. So 1, 2, and then in the magic circle I'm gonna work 3 more double crochets. So sorry, 2 more double crochets to make it 3. So total 3 before I, like that. Okay, so this is a cluster of 3 double crochets because our chain 2 counts as a double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 1 and then complete 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 1, then do another 1 to make it 3, and then we'll do 4 altogether. So we're doing a cluster of 3 double crochets 4 times, because this sweater is going to be a granny stitch sweater in a square. Okay, and then the final one here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so now that I have my 4 corners, I'm going to close the circle by pulling this to shut it like this, and then I'm going to join the 2 sides. But to do that, I'm going to create a corner by doing a chain 1 and then 1, 2. So on top of the chain 2, I'm going to complete a slip stitch like this. So now I have 4 clusters of double crochets here. Okay, so this is the first row completed. Very simple, very fast. And then we're going to start the second row, and then we're going to continue to build up our work until we need to change the color. So I have decided I'm going to do 4 rows of each color. So this is 1, I need to do 3 more. So to start the second row, I'm going to do a chain 2, and in the chain 1 gap right here, I'm going to work 2 more double crochets to make it 3 with my chain 2, which does count as a double crochet. Comme ça, like that. Okay, then I'm going to skip into the next gap. So I skip 3 double crochets into the chain 1 spot. I'm going to do a cluster of 3 double crochets, and because I'm creating a corner, I'm going to chain 1 and do 3 more double crochets into the same chain 1 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Then I'm going to skip these 3 double crochets in the next chain 1 gap. I'm going to do the same as what I just did here, which is 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the same gap. Okay, and we're going to repeat this all around. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I have completed 3 corners here. My 4th corner is where we only have 3 double crochets, and I'm going to complete that by just skipping right into the same gap and completing the remaining 3 double crochets, because 3 of them are already in there from us beginning this row, like that. Okay, I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch on top of the chain 2, and that creates this 4th corner, like that. Okay, so if I put my work down like this, I have this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. Then I'm going to chain 2 and repeat the same thing, which is after my chain 2, I do 2 double crochets into that same chain 1 gap. I go into the next gap here by skipping 3 double crochets, and then in that gap I create 3 double crochets. It's not a corner, so I'm not going to do the chain 1 and 3 more, but I'm going to skip to the corner here and create 3 double crochets like that, chain 1 and 3 more double crochets because it's a corner. So every corner you do 6 double crochets, and if it's not a corner, you do only 3 double crochets. Like this other gap here, we just do 3 double crochets. Then we will move it over to the corner right here and complete the corner, which is a cluster of 6 double crochets, but it's 3, chain 1, and then 3 more. Okay, so I'm gonna do this all the way to the end, so I'll meet you guys at the end of this row. Okay, so as you can see, I have to go into this corner here and complete the corner because we have the 3 double crochets from the previous row. So I'm just gonna hop right into that corner and complete the other 3, and then I'll do a chain 1 before I slip stitch to that side, so just like this, and this completes this corner here. Okay, so that's the end of the 3rd row. So again, just to show you here, you can aid your work a little bit just by making sure you pull the corners here. So this is how your square looks so far. And then you're going to do a 3rd row, so sorry, a 4th row, because I do 4 rows and then change the color, and then do 4 rows of that color, change it to the next color, and we do that. Okay, so I'm gonna complete this 2nd row, this 4th row here. So the last row of this color, we do a chain 2 and then complete 3 total double crochets here, including that chain 2. And then you're just gonna repeat what we did all around. When you come back here, come back to the video, and then I will show you how to change the color. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed my 4th row and final row for this color here. And so I have done my 3 double crochets here and a chain 1 to create our corner. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just do this to be able to finish this side, but I'm gonna bring my scissors in to change the color. So I'm gonna cut this color here, Okay, and then my next color that I would like to change to is this color here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to change the color, and then we're gonna pretty much repeat this pattern and then change color after 4 rows, and then do it again and again until we have what we need. So I'm just gonna go in here and bring the color through, and then chain 2, pull these 2 strings a little bit to make them tight, and then go into this chain 1 gap and complete 2 more double crochets. So my chain 2 counts as the 3rd double crochet. Then we're gonna move on to the next gap here. So again, skipping the 3 double crochets, and then going into the gap and completing 3 more double crochets, skipping these 3 double crochets, going into the gap and completing 3 more double crochets. So not gonna explain everything here, because all you do now is just kind of repeat this pattern. Where it's not a corner, you do just 3 double crochets. Where it's a corner, you do 6, but you separate the 6 by doing 3, chain 1 and then 3, because we need to make sure we have the corner and a place to work the next row into. And yeah, we're gonna do this until you have what you need. So now I'm gonna talk to you about what you need. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the side here a little bit. So this is where our tape measure is gonna come in handy. Maybe we should leave this here. Okay, so what I do is from the front, in front of my bust, I measure from the middle of my armpit to the other side of my armpit, the middle of the other side of the armpit. So just to make it easy, let's say it goes from up to 10 inches. If I put it around, then you want to make sure you do this here to be 10 inches. Okay, and this is if it's tight. If you want your sweater to be loose, you can then increase this length however you want. So I'm going to do mine. So I'm just gonna verify again. I already did it, but I'm gonna verify again. So for me, it's about 20 inches that I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna create this until it's 20 inches long, like wide when I measure it. And this 20 inches is including, because I want it to be loose. If I want it to be tight, I'm coming around 16, 17-ish. But I add the rest of the rows so that it's nice and loose for my sweater. Okay? And make sure you incorporate if you're wearing a bra as well, because if you wear a bra, then it becomes tight here depending on the size of bra that you wear as well. All right, so we're gonna work this here. I'm gonna work mine until I come to 20 inches when I measure from here to here. And when I have that, I will come back and I will show you how it looks like, okay? See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies. So I have gone ahead and completed 1 panel for my sweater here. So this is the body sweater, the body panel. So I'm gonna do another one exactly the same, because we need the back and this is the front or vice versa, but we need 2 panels exactly the same like this, okay? So now that I've completed this, so as you can see again, this is how I changed the color. This is the 4 we did together. I showed you how to change the color to this, and then I did this color, and then I just repeated again. So I did the 3 colors here, then I just repeated again and went to this, and it just turned out that I finished it with this color. Okay, so I have this completed. When I have done the second, because all you need to do now is just start the video over if you need to remember, but if not, just start the second panel exactly the same. And then when you have the second piece, come back to the video, and I will show you how to join the 2 panels and then how to create our sleeves, and then eventually we'll do a neckline, then we will do the border in the bottom as well. Okay, I will see you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed my 2 panels here. So as you can see, this is my second panel. The first one we did was this one here. Okay, now I have my 2 panels. I'm just gonna cut this yarn here. Okay, I'm gonna cut this and leave a little bit out to be able to join to join the sleeves here, or to join the panels, which I did not do for the first one, but it's okay. I will just use this. So I'll make sure I have a lot of this, and then I can use it on the other side as well. So for this here, I will just cut the yarn somewhere here. Okay, and then I will use my hook to do a slip knot here like this, and that locks it here. Voila. Okay, so now that I have the 2 panels, we need to join the 2 panels, and then we will work on the sleeves. And the way to do that is I will take this panel here, the one that we finished before. I will place it on the ground like this, but I'll flip it inside out. So as you can see, this is the side that I'm gonna have as the inside of the sweater, and this is gonna be the outside. It's just more cleaner on this side. And as you can see, this is also where all of my where I changed the color, that's where all of my strings are hanging. So I'm gonna place these down like this, and then I will take the second panel and I'm gonna put it exactly the opposite way. So I'm gonna have the side that is the inside face up, but I'm gonna flip it like this because I need to be able to join with this. So I'm gonna put it like this. Okay, voila. So like this. And now that I have them lined up like this, I'm gonna determine how I want my neckline to be. So I'm gonna use my my stitch markers to be able to place where I want them to go, as well as on the side for my arm area. Now, how you measure that is up to you, but for the neckline, it's up to you. You can make it so that it's a small neckline like this, as long as your head can go through, or you can make it wider. It's up to you. So I'll let you guys decide on that. But for the armhole, you're going to obviously measure the widest part of your arm, and you're going to make sure the circumference of it is going to be the space that you leave around here. Okay, so I'm going to go off to do that, and I'll be back in a second when I have put all my stitch markers in place. Okay, my lovelies, so I have put my stitch markers where I'm going to make sure I join and where I don't join. So as you can see here, this is going to be my neckline here. So I put my stitch marker here, and all I did was just determine how wide or narrow my neckline is, and then I match the stitch markers by counting the stitches from here to here, and then I put the stitch markers there. Okay, so which means we're going to be joining here and we're going to be joining here. For the armpit hole, for the armhole here, I have it so that I also have determined how wide the widest part of my arm is with a little bit of a wiggle room. That is how much I'm going to leave open. So which means I will join it from the stitch marker down to the bottom, and vice versa on the other side. Okay. So now that I have that, I'm going to show you quickly how to do a little bit of the joining here, and then I will have you guys do the rest of it on your own. And then we will come back to start the sleeves. And so with that said, I'm going to show you here. Okay, so I'm going to line up my work here like this, and I'm going to just go right directly into this. So I have my darning needle in my here already, so I'm just going to go directly into this chain one gap and match it to the other side. I'm gonna bring that through like this, and then I'm gonna do it one more time into that space so I can make sure I lock it in here. Okay, like that. And then I am going to actually, what I'm gonna do here, just so I can make a correction, this side that I'm joining is gonna end up being the inside of my work. So to join, I'm actually going to flip it so we can join on the opposite side. Okay, it's just gonna make it easier for us to be able to hide the other side. So I'm gonna just flip my work like this, okay. So now the side that is gonna be the inside is where I will be joining, and that makes it easy to hide any sections that are a little bit not looking the best. And especially with the joining, if it's a little bit lumpy, then we hide it on this side. So I'm gonna restart that here. So I have the string, then I'm just gonna go into that chain one spot and go through like that. I'll do it one more time just to make it nice and secure. One more like that. And then from this moment on, we're just going to grab the stitches on each side. So you're gonna grab the stitches on the side from you and then match it to the other side on the other side. And then I did it twice here just to make sure I bring the string to the same spot. And then you go to the next and you grab two, you just go through the two like this. Okay, and with this here, make sure you're not pulling it too tight, because you don't want your work to be a little bit too kind of bushed up, because you're pulling the string too tight and therefore the material is bushing up. Okay, so you just continue to do this like this, and I'll show you quickly how it looks on the other side. So on this side, it just looks like that, very nice and neat. Okay, so you're gonna do this all the way to the stitch marker. So your last one should be right over here, like this stitch here. You're gonna remove your yarn, you're gonna go on the other side and do the exact same thing. And then when this side is done, you're going to remove your yarn or get more yarn and join from the stitch marker all the way to the bottom. And then the same thing on this side. When you have had everything joined and now looking like a vest, come back to the video and I will show you how to start our sleeves. Okay, see you guys then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed joining my work here. So as you can see, I have my neckline here. I've joined the sides, and as well as here I have my armpit or like armholes. Okay, so I'm gonna flip my work inside out because we're gonna be working on the other side, but it's actually gonna be the outside of our work is where we're gonna be working for on the sleeves. Okay, so now I flip it like this, and as you can see, again, the neck hole is here, the armholes are here, but I'm gonna show you how to start working on the armholes. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick this side here. You can pick any side, and as you can see, again, this is where we joined our work here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this side here to start working on, and the way I'm going to do the colors is, as you can tell here, obviously after this color here I have the orange, so I'm gonna pick this color here, and then we're gonna alternate the colors for the sleeve the same way. So I'm gonna grab this yarn here to be able to start the next 4 rows with. Okay, all right, so I have my yarn here, and I'm going to show you how to then do the sleeves, and I'm going to show you maybe about 2 rows, and then you're going to work the rest of the rows on your own. And I'm going to talk about how you're going to be able to work the length as well of your of the sleeves. Okay, so what you do with the sleeves to be able to get the size that you want or the length that you want, you just measure the length of your arm, and then you work the number of rows that equivalates to that. Okay, but to start the sleeve, I'm going to do a slip knot so I can start working on my work. Come out, bring out your hook, go into the center of this, and just anywhere here, like for example right here, you go in, and then you bring your yarn through like this, and then from here you do a chain of 2. And keep in mind, this chain of 2 counts as a double crochet, and then in that same gap you're going to do 2 more double crochets. Okay, so whoops, 1 and 2. Okay, and then you're going to skip over to this gap here, and you're going to complete 3 double crochets in this gap here. So 1, 2 and 3. Then you're going to skip over to the next gap right here, and you're going to go ahead and complete 3 double crochets. Okay, so at this point we're just repeating the same granny stitch everywhere that we go. Okay, like this, and then continue to turn your work. In the next gap here we're going to do 3 double crochets. Okay, and you're going to repeat these all until you come back to the center where we started the work here. Okay, so complete going around like this. When you come to the top here, you're going to do your 3 double crochets right here, and then you're going to skip over to this side and do 3 double crochets here, and then you continue. All right, so do that. I will do the same, and I will meet you guys when you're back in the bottom where we started off the row here. Okay, my lovelies, so I have worked my stitches around here. So as you can see, I have pretty much come almost to the end here. So again, because we're skipping these 3 double crochets here, we're going to skip directly to the chain 2 that we did previously, and just do a slip stitch on there like this. Okay, so like this is how it looks like, and then we're going to chain 2, and in that same gap we're going to do 2 more double crochets. Your chain 2 counts as a stitch. Okay, counts as a double crochet. So doing 2 more makes it 3, and then you move on to this next gap here and you complete 3 double crochets. Okay, like so, and then you move on to the next right here and you complete 3 double crochets. And this is pretty much what you repeat until you have the length of your sleeve. And also keeping in mind that for me, I'm alternating the colors just like I did the body of the sweater. I'm doing, so after this color here, I'm going to do this color, and after this I'm going to do this, and after this I'm going to go back to doing this, and I'm going to alternate this. Now, in terms of how do you determine the length of your sleeve, like I said earlier, you just measure the length of your sleeve, and then you're going to do from here, right, from somewhere here, you're going to measure and then you will measure these, and then it should match the length of your sleeve. So for example, if the length of my arm is 20 inches, then I'm going to measure from here, and it should take me 20 inches to where I want it to go. But another thing that I'm going to do is, let's say you have 20 inches of your sleeve to go, you will do 15 inches, because the other 5 inches we're going to do it in a different stitch, just to bring in the arms a little bit, to snatch it in. Okay, so do 3/4 of the sleeve and then come back, and the other quarter I will show you how to finish that off with a different stitch. Yeah, so go ahead and continue alternating your colors and continue to work just the same way, like this, round and around, round, and then come back when you're done. See you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed working on my sleeve here. So as you can see, this is just pretty much where we started adding the sleeve, right here with this color, and then we alternated the colors just like we did for the body of the sweater. And as you can see, I went from here all the way to here so far. Okay, so I have decided I will stop here so we can actually snatch in the sleeve of the sweater. So to do that, I am pretty much going to, and also I did 32 rows altogether here. So I did 4 of this color, 4 of this color, 4 of this color, and then just continue like this. So I have 32 rows that I have done so far here. Okay, so to finish this row here, because this is 4 rows of each color, I'm going to stop here, and I'm just going to slip stitch on top of that like this, because this is what we've been doing with the rest of the work. Now instead of finishing this slip stitch here, I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to get my scissors and cut my yarn somewhere here, and I'm going to change the color. And we know that after this color comes this darker one here. Okay, so I'm going to change it to this to be able to finish the rest of the sweater here, to finish the rest of the sleeve. Okay, so I am going to bring this color in, and I'm going to go ahead and attach it, and then we will be able to work the rest of the sleeve with this color. So I'm gonna bring this color in and just bring it in like this, and then I'm going to chain 1. And the reason I'm chaining 1 is because we're going to start to decrease our sleeve here. So that's a chain 1, and then I'm going to go into this next stitch right here. I'm gonna go like I'm completing a single crochet, then I'm gonna go into the next and complete a single crochet, then I'm gonna pull it through and go through 3 loops. Okay, so I'm decreasing at every single stitch here so that I can snatch in our calf a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go into the next stitch here, and then go into the next stitch. I will end up with 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. So I'm decreasing. Then for the next 2 stitches, I'm going to go into the next. This is not a stitch, but it's just a gap that separates these clusters of double crochet. I need to work into that. So I go in like that. Then I go into the next stitch, and then I complete go through like a single crochet. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch like this, and in that gap as well, then complete a single crochet. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do all around until I come back here. When I get back here, I will come back to the video, and I will show you guys how to start the next part of the row. Okay, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have decreased my sleeve here, and as you can see, it's starting to come in a little bit. It's not quite obvious yet, but I'm going to just slip stitch on top of that chain 1 that we did to kind of complete this row like this. Okay, now for the next row, I'm going to start by doing a chain of 2, which counts as a double crochet, and then in the next stitch right here, I'm going to complete a double crochet. Then I'm going to yarn over, go over to the next stitch and complete a double crochet. And then, so what I do in every single stitch here is I'm just going to complete a row of double crochet. And then when I come back to where we just started this row, which is right here, I will come back to the video to show you how to move on to the next part of the project. Okay, so just complete your double crochets until you come back here, and I will see you then. Okay, my lovelies, so I have come to the end of this row here of the double crochets. So I am going to go ahead and slip stitch on the top of that double crochet that we started this row with, just like that. Okay, so that completes this part of the row, and then we're going to start another row. So we're going to chain 2, which counts as a double crochet, and in this stitch right here, we're going to do a front post double crochet, and then we're going to do a back post double crochet in the next stitch, and then a front post double crochet in this stitch, and then a back post double crochet in the next. And we're going to do this all around until we come back at the beginning of the row. And when we do that, you will come back to the video and I will go ahead and show you how to connect the two sides and then how to start the next row. And then we will pretty much be doing this for a couple of rows until we have the number of rows that is going to be enough length for the rest of the sleeve. Okay, so I will have you guys work this row. When you come back here, come back to the video. Okay, my lovelies, so I am going to now slip stitch because I've completed the second row here. So I'm going to complete a slip stitch on top of the chain 2 that we began the row with, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 2, and then for this front post I'm going to do a front post double crochet, and then for the back post I'm going to complete a back post double crochet, and then a front post double crochet for this, and I will just alternate this again all the way until I come back to the beginning, where I will slip stitch and then start the next row. And I'm going to work this until I have the length that I need for the rest of the remaining sleeve. So in terms of my size here, I'm probably going to do about 2 to 3 inches of this part here, and then I will come back to show you how it looks like when it's completed. Okay, so I will have you guys continue to work this until you have the length you need and then come back. Okay, my lovelies, so I have completed 10 rows in the sleeve here. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. So I'm going to pretty much stop here and I'm going to cut. So I slip stitched right here. I'm going to cut my yarn, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch to lock it in, just like this. Okay, just like that. So this side is now completed. And so what we are going to do is we're going to pretty much repeat this on the other side of the sleeve, for the sleeve, the second sleeve. So as you can see, this is the first one here that we just completed. And you're going to now go ahead and connect your yarn here, whatever color, this color here. If you're doing the same colors, you follow the pattern as we had it on the other side. You're going to connect your yarn here and complete it, just matching exactly how this side is. Okay, and then when this side is done, come back. We will do a little bit on the neckline here, and we will do a little bit on the bottom side as well. Okay, but for now, finish your sleeve and then come back to the video. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone ahead and completed the 2 sleeves here. So as you can see, this is the one that we completed together, and I just did this one offline. Okay, so this is pretty much majority of your sweater done here, or maybe even done for some of you, because if you guys would like to leave it like this, then the sweater is done and all you need to do is just weave in your ends and things like that, and then it's finished. So which means the neckline would stay like this. Okay, very simple. And the bottom as well would stay like this, which just kind of falls. Okay, but I'm going to go a little bit further and do front post, back post double crochets around here, and do a few rows and do a few rows in the bottom as well. I'm not going to show you guys how to do that because it's very similar to what we did here, with the exception that we don't kind of bring it in like this. We leave it as is. So what I will do, I will start in either of these corners here, so either here or here, and just do double crochets around. Just do a double crochet in every single stitch around like this, and then your second row would be the alternation between the front post, back post, double crochet, and you can do that for a couple of rows. So I will probably do about 3 to 5 rows here to create my neckline, and that would be it. And then you will end it and finished. And then for the bottom, I will do the same. I just have to connect my yarn in either one of the corners here, do a row of double crochet in every stitch, and then start the rows of front post, back post, double crochets, and then I will do a couple of rows here as well. Okay, so that I will not show it to you guys on video because it's just simple to go and do it like that, but I will show you guys how it looks like when I'm done. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will see you guys when you have created your border for the bottom here and the neckline. Okay, my lovelies, so I have gone and completed the bottom of my sweater here as well as the neckline. So as I explained just a little bit previously, I said that I was going to do a few rows of the neckline here. So I started with just a row of double crochet, and then I did 2 rows of the front post, back post double crochets, and so these 3 total rows that I did for the neckline here. Okay, you can do more if you want your neckline to go a little bit higher, but if not, then this is how it would look like. Okay, and then for the bottom part, I started again with just a row of double crochet around the bottom of the sweater, and then I completed 4 more rows of the front post, back post, double crochet. And so with that, this is how it looks like in the bottom. Okay, so this kind of matches our sleeves as well, or the calves of our sweater, looking like this. It kind of matches here and the neckline. Okay, now I have completed weaving in all the ends on the inside of the sweater, and I have these ones that are still hanging here. So this one here, and as you can see, just a few of them that are hanging on the where I finished my work. So I'm gonna go ahead and weave those in, and that's pretty much it. That's gonna be the end of the project. There's nothing else to be done with this sweater. It's good to be worn, it's ready to be worn, and this is it. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys go from here. Thank you so much again for watching this video to the end, and I hope you will like this, and I really hope you will do it with colors that really find that are for you. So that it can come out in the colors that you actually like. When you wear it, you're enjoying what you made. Okay, so this is it for me. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Before you go though, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment if you have any questions, or just to say whether you like this or not, and as well to hit the notification bell so you can be notified of any future videos, and don't forget to share it with your friends and loved ones. Okay, all right, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.